welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling something that's becoming, well, pretty much essential for a lot of people.
Yeah.
With power outages seeming more common thanks to grid issues, extreme weather, backup power isn't just nice to have anymore.
Absolutely. It's becoming a necessity for homeowners, campers, you name it.
But then you start looking, and bam, you hit this fork in the road, the big, loud, traditional, conventional generator, or the quieter, sleeker inverter model.
Right. Two very different approaches to the same problem.
Exactly. So our goal today is to really dig into this for you. We want to cut through the specs and the jargon, give you the clear guide for 2025.
Help you figure out which one actually makes sense for your needs.
Let's start with that core difference. Conventional generators are kind of the old guard, right? Power and price, that's their game.
Pretty much. Brute force, lower upfront costs.
Whereas inverters, they're about precision, efficiency, being quiet, user-friendliness, maybe.
That's a good way to put it. So, okay, let's unpack how they actually make the power. Because honestly, everything else flows from that.
Okay. Lay it on us. Conventional first.
Right. Conventional, it's a design that's been around for ages. Simple stuff, really. You put in fuel, gasoline, propane, whatever. An internal combustion engine runs, spins an alternator, and boom, you get AC power straight out.
Sounds straightforward enough, but there's a catch, isn't there? Something about the power frequency.
Exactly. The big catch. Here in North America, our grid runs at 60 hertz. To make AC power at exactly 60 hertz directly from an alternator, well, the engine has to spin at one constant speed, usually 3,600 RPM.
Wait, constant? Like always?
Always. Doesn't matter if you're powering a single light bulb or, your entire fridge and freezer, it's pedal to the metal, 3,600 RPM.
Wow. So even if I just plug in my phone, that whole engine is just roaring away at full speed? That seems incredibly wasteful.
It is. It's super inefficient. And that constant high speed, that's the root of all the classic generator complaints. It's why they're so loud, why they guzzle fuel, and critically, why the power they produce can be dirty.
Dirty power. What does that mean?
Well, think about it. If a big appliance kicks on, like your AC or a well pump, the engine momentarily bogs down trying to keep that 3,600 RPM speed, that slight struggle. It causes dips or spikes in the voltage and frequency of the power coming out. It's not smooth.
Okay, I think I get it. So how does the inverter avoid that?
This is where the clever tech comes in. Inverters use a three-step process. It's more advanced. First, it takes the fuel, runs an engine, makes AC power just like the conventional one. But then...
But it does something different.
Right. It immediately converts that raw AC power into direct current, or DC, using rectifiers. Think of it like smoothing out the initial messy power.
Okay, so it makes DC power first.
Exactly. And then, this is the key part, it uses microprocessors, tiny computer chips, to invert that clean DC power back into perfectly stable AC power. A pure sine wave, just like you get from the grid.
So it cleans it up electronically.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And the huge benefit of this, the engine doesn't need to run at that constant 3,600 RPM anymore. Because the electronics handle the final power quality, the engine can speed up or slow down based only on how much power you're actually drawing.
Okay, that makes sense. So if I'm just running a few lights, the engine can just idle quietly.
Yep. Sips fuel, barely makes a sound. But if you plug in something heavy, like a space heater,
Then it ramps up to meet the demand.
you got it. So you get super stable power, way better fuel efficiency, and much, much less noise. It's just a smarter system overall.
That distinction, constant speed versus variable electronically controlled speed, really clarifies the core difference. Okay, let's move into the side-by-side comparison then. Power quality seems like a huge one.
Oh, it's critical, especially these days with all our sensitive gadgets.
Right. So if you need to power laptops, TVs, maybe medical equipment during an outage, you pretty much have to go with an inverter, right? Because of that clean power.
Absolutely. We measure that cleanness using something called total harmonic distortion, or THD. Think of it as ripples or static on the power line. Inverters produce power with very low THD, usually under 5%. It's a smooth, stable wave that electronics love. It prevents damage.
Okay, under 5%. And the conventional dirty power, what's its THD like?
It can be really high, sometimes up to 20%, even 25% THD. Instead of that smooth wave, it's more like a jagged, blocky wave.
Yikes.
Yeah. And for delicate circuits in your computer or TV, feeding them that jagged power is like, well, asking for trouble. It can cause glitches, overheating, even long-term damage.
So conventional is really best for just basic stuff. Power tools, simple appliances without complex electronics.
Pretty much. Things with robust motors, heating elements. Stuff that isn't too fussy about the quality of the electricity.
Okay. Beyond power quality, the noise and the sheer bulkiness are massive factors too, right? Like how you actually live with the thing running.
Huge difference. Inverters, because that engine can idle down, are incredibly quiet. We're talking 50 to 60 decibels.
Which is like
a normal conversation, or maybe a quiet dishwasher running in the next room. You can actually stand next to it and talk.
that's manageable. And they're lighter too.
Generally, yes. 40 to 100 pounds, usually designed with handles, easy to move around, great for camping, RVs, or just tucking away in the garage.
All right, contrast that with a conventional beast.
Haha, yeah. Beast is a good word, because they're always running full throttle. They're loud, 70 to 90 decibels.
That's lawnmower loud.
Yeah.
Power washer loud.
Exactly. Like having a lawnmower running constantly just outside your window for hours or even days during an outage, it gets old fast. And not just for you, for your neighbors too.
Definitely a consideration. And portability.
Forget about easily lifting most of them. 100 pounds is on the light side. Many are 200, 300 pounds plus. They need wheel kits and some muscle just to roll them around.
Okay, clear difference there. Now, that variable engine speed in the inverter, you mentioned fuel efficiency, that must translate into real savings.
Oh, absolutely. It's one of the biggest long-term benefits. Because the engine only runs as fast as needed, inverters use significantly less fuel. Depending on the load, they can be anywhere from 20% to sometimes even 60% more fuel efficient than a conventional generator doing the same job.
60%. Wow.
Yeah, so you might get 8, 10, even 12 hours of runtime from a small inverter tank, whereas the conventional one, always running flat out, might burn through its tank in just 4 to 8 hours. You're constantly refueling it.
So less noise, cleaner power, and uses less gas. The inverter seems like a clear winner so far. But there has to be a catch, right? Where does the conventional model still have an edge?
Raw power output. That's the conventional generator's strong suit. If you need to run really heavy loads, lots of big appliances at once, that's where they shine.
And what kind of loads are we talking?
Think whole house backup. Running central air conditioning, electric water heaters, well pumps, multiple large appliances simultaneously. Conventional models typically range from 5,000 watts up to 15,000, 20,000 watts, even more for commercial units. Plus, that constant high RPM gives them excellent surge capacity. They handle the big jolt needed to start large motors, like in your AC unit or fridge, really well.
Okay, so the conventional is the workhorse for massive power needs.
Yeah.
Inverters generally top out lower.
They do. Consumer inverters usually peak around, say, 7,000 or 8,000 watts, though they are getting bigger.
But I've heard about linking them together, paralleling.
Yes. That's a key feature for inverters. Most modern ones are parallel capable.
Which means?
It means you can buy a special cable kit and physically connect 2 identical inverter generators together. So if you have 2 3,000-watt inverters, link them up, and boom, you've got 6,000 watts of clean, quiet power.
Ah, okay. So you could scale up your power without having to buy one huge, heavy machine. That's pretty neat.
It offers a lot of flexibility. Use one for light loads, bring out the second one when you need more juice.
Right. Now let's talk cost.
Yeah.
Because that's often the first thing people see. Inverters feel more expensive up front.
They definitely are. No way around that. Our sources generally put them at about 50% higher initial cost, sometimes more. You might find a basic conventional generator for $300, $500, while a similar wattage inverter could easily be $500 to $1,000 or more. High-end ones go up to $3,000 plus.
That's a significant difference. But you mentioned the fuel savings earlier. Does that actually make up for the higher price tag over time?
For many users, yes. That's the crucial point about return on investment, or ROI. Because they use so much less fuel, that fuel cost saving starts adding up quickly, especially if you use the generator fairly regularly, say, for camping trips or frequent short outages.
How quickly are we talking?
Depending on fuel prices and usage, you could potentially recoup that initial price difference in maybe 1 to 2 years. For instance, a popular 2,000-watt inverter might save you $100, maybe $200 a year in fuel compared to a conventional model running the same light loads.
Okay, so the math favors the inverter for regular light to medium use.
Generally, yes. Better long-term value proposition there. The conventional model really only wins on cost if you need massive power, but only use it very, very rarely, like just for major emergency backup a few days a year.
That makes the ideal use cases pretty clear then. If we connect all the dots, where does the inverter really fit best?
Inverters are perfect for situations where noise matters, where you're powering sensitive electronics, or where portability is key. So think camping, RVing, tailgating. Also great for home backup if your main concern is keeping the lights on, the fridge running, your laptop charged, maybe a small window AC. Quiet, efficient, neighbor-friendly.
And the big, loud, conventional units.
They're still the kings of the construction site, the farm, the workshop, anywhere you need raw, brute force power for heavy tools and machinery, and noise isn't the primary concern. Also, for larger homes, aiming for true whole house backup, including central air and well pumps, where their high wattage is essential.
Okay. Now, looking at the market for 2025, are there any interesting trends emerging, things people should be aware of?
Definitely the rise of dual fuel and even tri-fuel options. This is happening across both types, inverter and conventional.
Meaning they can run on more than just gasoline.
Exactly. Many new models can switch between gasoline and propane right out of the box. Some higher-end conventionals can even hook up to natural gas lines.
What's the advantage there?
Flexibility, mostly. Propane stores much longer than gasoline and is often easier to find during emergencies. Natural gas means potentially unlimited runtime if your utility lines are working. It's about having options.
Makes sense. Can you give us a couple of specific model examples people might look at based on the sources?
Sure. For a top-tier, super quiet, portable inverter, the Honda EU2200i is still kind of the benchmark, around $1,100, maybe $1,200, really popular for RVs.
Okay. Any good dual fuel inverter option?
Yeah, Champion makes some popular ones. They're a 2010-50 model. It's around 3,500 watts, dual fuel, often priced around $800 or so. Good balance of features and cost.
And on the conventional side, for someone needing big power.
Generac is a big name there. Their GP series, like the GP9500E, offers huge output. Some have tri-fuel capability, maybe around $1,000 to $1,200. Real workhorses. Westinghouse also has popular high-output dual-fuel models like the WG9500DF, often competitive on price, maybe around $900 to $1,000. Built tough for job sites.
Good examples to ground the discussion. What about maintenance? Is one easier to take care of than the other?
It's a bit of a trade-off. Inverters mechanically are often under less stress because the engine isn't always screening. Fewer oil changes sometimes, but they have complex electronics. If that inverter board or microprocessor fails, that's usually not a DIY fix. It can be expensive specialized repair or even require replacing the whole unit.
Ouch. And conventional.
Simply your machine, mechanically. Easier to work on yourself if you're handy. But because they run constantly at high RPMs, they demand really regular maintenance, frequent oil changes, spark plug checks, air filter cleaning. You have to stay on top of it.
Got it. Okay, so let's bring it all together. What's the final takeaway for someone trying to decide in 2025?
Well, it really boils down to your priorities. There's no single best generator, only the best one for you. Are clean power, quiet operation, and fuel efficiency your main goals? Then you're almost certainly looking at an inverter. Pay more upfront, save fuel later, protect your electronics.
But if you absolutely need the maximum possible wattage for the lowest initial cost, and you can tolerate the noise and higher fuel use,
then the conventional generator is still a viable, powerful option, especially for those heavy-duty tasks or infrequent emergency use.
One crucial piece of advice, though.
Yes. Before you buy anything, please calculate your actual wattage needs. Don't guess. Add up the running watts and starting watts, that initial surge, for everything you plan to power. Get a realistic number.
And safety features.
Non-negotiable. Look for built-in carbon monoxide detectors. CO poisoning is a serious risk with any generator. Always operate them outdoors, far from windows and doors.
Excellent points. All right, before we wrap up, usually leave us with a final thought to chew on.
Right. So we frame this mostly as an either choice, inverter or conventional. But here's something to consider, especially with the tech evolving. Why not think about a hybrid approach?
Hybrid, like combining them.
Exactly. What if you used a larger, maybe less expensive conventional generator just for those peak power needs, starting the well pump, running the central AC for a short burst? But then, for the majority of the time, keeping the fridge cold, lights on, charging phones and laptops, you rely on a smaller, super quiet, fuel-sipping inverter.
So you get the best of both worlds. Big power when needed, quiet efficiency the rest of the time.
Potentially, yeah. You get the raw power capability and the daily livability and fuel savings. It's maybe a more complex setup, but it could offer a really optimized balance of power, cost, and convenience for your specific situation. Something to think about.